What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the build. Welcome back to the vlog. Let me tell you what's going on today. So, I got some stuff in the mail. I was able to fix some things. I got my parts from Arizona, and we're looking pretty good now. So, let me tell you what I'm gonna do. So, what I'm gonna do is, the first thing is I have, you know how in the last video I was showing you that my intake air temperature sensor wasn't going all the way into the spacer to get a good, reading on the flow or the temperature of the air, the flow of air. So what the first thing I'm going to do is drill into the spacer and give it a little bit more room so that intake air temperature sensor can have a little better reading. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. And I got my Holley EFI elbow. Check it out. It works so much better than the Edelbrock. It's not even funny. Like, this Holley one fits way better. Okay, so check it out. Look at this. Like, there's so much room. There's so much room. And this is where I was having issues, and it's in a spot where it doesn't hit anything. So it's perfect. And then in the back it has all these different vacuum ports. And then if you want to run a GM 3-bar map sensor, you can. Everything is ready. I mean, I could have put that in there, but we're here now and the spacer's already there, so whatever. But that thing works so well. The elbow is amazing. I'm so happy in the quality of it. They gave me extra bolts, extra parts, everything. Gaskets. The Edelbrock didn't come with any of that stuff, and it's more expensive. So, very impressed with the Holley. The only little problem, and it's not Holley's problem, it's my problem. So, the intake air, no, idle air control valve. It hits the edge of the elbow, and that's because it's made to be able to have a 105 millimeter elbow. And so I have that trick flow little 1/2-inch spacer, but then my intake pipe doesn't fit, so I'm just gonna notch it out. So the idle air control sits right there, and so this sticks out a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is just take a grinder and machine. So what I'm gonna do is I'll probably just either notch this thing out, or I'll take it to the machine shop and just have them fuzz it in line with this, so I can just put the idle air control valve or something, but it'll work, and it's not really a big deal at all. And the other thing I did that I didn't show you guys is, so I'm gonna run my heater lines this way, or heater hoses this way. It's kind of old school looking, but I kind of like it now that we're here and we're doing it. So check it out. So this is the elbow, and it's fitting right just like you saw, and it just wraps around and goes into the heater core. And same thing with the other one, and I'm gonna put clamps on it, hose clamps, but I just did this to look at it. So here's the tube that comes from the water pump, or it's the return tube, so it works pretty well. And so with the turbo, it'll have to be changed a little bit, but for now, it looks pretty good and it fits pretty good. So that's the fix for that for now, and I don't even know if I'm gonna change it all that much, because I kind of like it, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like it. So, but that's where we're at. So I'm gonna tap that spacer real quick and make sure it can fit, or that sensor has a better reading, or a better, I don't know how you say it, but it's more sensor in the spacer where the air goes. So that's what I'm gonna be doing first, and then from there we'll just keep going. So alright, I'll catch you guys when we're doing that. Okay, so just so you guys can see what's gonna go on is, so I have that tapped, and it works good. The threads work good. So I got my big drill, and I'm going to go in like probably like 1/4 of an inch into the threads, or into this port, and then so my sensor will actually tap in, because right now, as you can see, the sensor, there's only, and this doesn't even look that good. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so this is what the sensor looks like, and I want it to be like this. So I just measured this, and it's about 1/4 inch, so it'll sit in there like that. So I'm just gonna take about 1/4 inch, go in 1/4 inch deep with the big drill, so it'll set in a little bit farther. So that's all I'm gonna do, and yeah, so I'm gonna get it done. So that is perfect. It's exactly where I want it to be. So I'm going to put some Teflon around it and call it a day, but that is exactly how I wanted it to look. So I might clean it too. It's kind of dirty. So, but yeah, that is exactly what I wanted to happen, and we got it done. Just took a little time. Okay, so it came out really good. So I just got the Teflon on it and I put it in, and look at that. It has a lot of sensor showing now, so that's exactly what I wanted and very pleased with it. So we're gonna move on, and so that's done. One thing off the list. All right, next thing I'm gonna do is that one fitting that is blue. I'm gonna pull it off and maybe paint it black, or get ready to paint it black, because I'm not gonna have one blue fitting out of all the fittings. I can't do that. Just can't do that. So I'm gonna get that thing off and get it ready. All right, so I'm gonna call it for tonight because I don't have to work tomorrow and I can get really in depth into what I'm doing. Let me show you what I got done tonight, because I showed you the spacer I got done. I've just been doing a little things that don't really, are not very exciting, but I gotta do it regardless. So first thing I did was, on the ground wire, it needed a little extension on it, so I put the little yellow wire to the ground, so that was fairly easy. And then I got all my clamps on for my heater hoses, so I got both those clamps on, and then the clamp down there, and these are ready to go. So tomorrow I'll be able to put my thermostat on and the thermostat housing, so that'll be cool. Then the other thing, I was able to paint that blue fitting. So now it's black, and that'll be much better than anodized blue with nothing else anodized blue. So those were the couple of things that I got done. Like I said, not too much. I really just been looking at things, trying to make sure everything's buttoned up and ready to go. So that's about it. Oh, I made sure Teflon tape was on everything, and yeah, so we're really close. So I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. What's up, everyone? So I'm like starting this video, or well, you've already seen the beginning of this video. This is the buttoning up video, and I probably don't need to say that, but I'm like all out of order because some videos came in different times, and I'm like all out of sync. So today is Monday, and we're getting some extra stuff done on the car. So the last time you saw, the fuel rails weren't fitting correctly, and well, they fit, the hardware was wrong. So until my friend at Fastenal is getting me some hardware, I jimmy rigged this little setup right here. So let me show you what I jimmy rigged to get the fuel rails into place. And I look kind of stupid. I totally forgot I had goggles on. Okay, so remember our problem was that the spacer was not big enough and the screw was not long enough. So I fixed that by going to Lowe's, and I found this spacer, and then the screw wouldn't fit in, so I had to grind around it, and that's why you hear the grinder in the background. So this is the spacer they gave me, right? And then this is the spacer I got from Lowe's. So together they make about 2 inches, and that's the perfect height. So then I got this from Home Depot, because I had to go to 13 different stores to find it. And then I ground around the top, which I'm gonna do to this one, and then it fits inside the hole, because I'm supposed to be using this kind of bolt, and it has the little hex on the top, so it drops in the slot and it works good. But we can't afford that time right now, so I'm just taking this, grinding the top around it so it'll fit in the hole, and then tightening it down, and it's worked so far, so that's what we're gonna keep doing. So I'm gonna get these fuel rails bolted down, and then we'll go from there. I think I'm gonna put the spark plugs in today, but one problem fixed at least. Okay, so the fuel rails are on, and the car can be started with the fuel rails. So let me show you what I did, because I gave you that explanation, but it got way more in depth. So I ground the top of the screws, or the bolts, or whatever you want to call it, and then those spacers I showed you, the 1 inch, it ended up, the ones Edelbrock gave me were like 1 inch and 1/8, or 1 inch and 1/16. They were something weird. And the distance between the, here, let me show you. Okay. So the distance between here and here, when I compressed the rail all the way, was 1 inch and 7/8. So I had to grind down this like a little over 1/8 of an inch on each spacer. So I measured them all, I ground them all down to the right distance, and then I screwed them all in, and they work good. So now they're like on there. You can't move them. I'm still gonna make Edelbrock fix this, and I've got better hardware from Fastenal coming, just so it's not my Jimmy rig. I told you I'd Jimmy rig it. I figured it out. So, but I can start the car this way, and I feel totally comfortable doing it, and that's awesome. So next thing we're gonna do is get the spark plugs on, and so I'm gonna get that done real quick, and that'll be nice and fast, easy and simple. And then maybe put the plug wires on and just locate them towards where the distributor is going to be, so that's all like just ready to go. So I think that's probably the next thing I'm going to do, so I'm going to start getting it done. Alright, so I was making progress and I was going, I just got the fuel rails on, I felt good, I just kept working and working. So I got the dipstick mounted, and that was a pain in the butt. Milodon made that so hard on me. It just, the hole for the bolt was too small for the exhaust, because you're supposed to, I'll show you in a second, but you're supposed to put the exhaust bolt through it, and then it's supposed to mount right next to the headers for the dipstick. And so I got that on, but it was a real pain in the butt. And then I put this, I put the spark plugs in. I torqued them all down to 10 foot-pound, or 10 to 15, I forgot what it was, something in there. And then I put the spark plug wires on, and then I just figured I'll just torque the valve cover back on, because I never did that. And I was gonna just look and make sure the oil was pumping out, but I'm thinking as long as I had oil pressure, I should be fine when I prime the oil pump and do all that stuff. So first turn with the torque wrench on the only bolt, the only bolt, there's only one bolt in the valve cover, and it snapped off. I don't know how that happens, but you know what, it's just so I don't get demonetized, it's crap happens. And so you can see it right there, just snapped right off. It was crazy. One turn into it and just pop, came right off. So that's just weird stuff that happens sometimes. So let me show you. So I already got the valve cover ready to come off, and so you can see right there that stud just busted. So the good thing is I can take some vice grips and hopefully just pop that thing right out and be done with it, and then just get another bolt. That should be, I can do that easy, no problem, no harm, no foul. But it just scared me to death. I'm glad I didn't have that on video. But I can fix that. That is fixable. It scared me to death though. So yeah, it scared me to death. It's because, yeah, I set my torque wrench at 12 foot-pounds, and I did it first turn, click click, thunk, done. So that sucked. But let me show you the work that I did do besides that. I just wanted to update everybody because that sucked. That freaked me out, but check it out. Okay, so those wires on that side are messed up, but you can see all the plug wires are on. There's this dipstick that I worked so long and hard to get on, and it's really hard to pull out, so I'm not going to do it. But here's all the wires, and these cool Ford racing wires actually have the numbers on them. So, well, they're stamped Ford Racing, and they have the numbers, so it's just really cool. I'm just focused on that immediate problem, so I'm going to get that stud pulled out and then see where I can source another bolt, which will probably be anywhere. It's not a very specialized bolt, don't look like. So alright, I'm gonna get to it and I'll keep you guys updated. Woo! Talk about stress levels being at an all-time high. I got it out, and I was like having this heart attack, but there was just a little piece of stud, and I tried putting a nut on it and putting 2 nuts on it, and the way it broke off, I couldn't do it. And so I kept trying way too long, and then I was just like, okay, well, it is what it is. I'm gonna get the vice grip. So I got the vice grip, so it wasn't even tight. So like it just popped right off. As soon as it just like popped up, I just could do it with my fingers, or loosened it up with my fingers, so it wasn't a big deal. But man, that had me so worried. That was intense. That was really intense. I'm so grateful that that thing didn't like just get stuck in there and I just have this whole terrible time. But look, so this is what it looked like. I mean, a good chunk of it. And so I don't know what happened. I know it didn't feel like it was that tight or anything, so I'm really not too sure why it snapped like that. it just seems kind of odd to me that it just snapped. I don't know if it was my fault. I don't know if it was the bolt's fault. I don't know what the fault was. Maybe it was the torque wrench's fault. I don't know. It didn't feel tight though, because I gave it one. Like you didn't see it, but I got like one crank in, and then it went kunk. I was like, uh-oh, that can't be good. And so then it was spinning really loose, and I pulled it up, and I was like, oh no. So that was my little reenactment of what just happened. But at least it came off, and I can get it fixed. So that we can't be stopped. Can't be stopped. Won't be stopped. I'm tired though too. But super pumped about that not being a total problem. So I'll just go and source a bolt. It's a 3.5 inch 1/4x20. So that's not bad at all. That's an easy bolt to find. So that's something I'm going to be doing tomorrow most likely, and not a whole lot left to do. So like I showed you, spark plug wires are on, spark plugs are on. I'm going to put the harness on tomorrow. That's going to be like the biggest last thing to do. So I'll get the harness on tomorrow, get that bolt, and then get my elbow from the machine shop, because they buzzed a part of it off, so that idle air control valve can sit right there and it won't be a problem anymore. But yeah, I'm way excited right now. That was freaking me out. Alright, so I don't know if I'm going to do anything else, but yeah, I don't know. I might just mess with the tune a little bit just so it starts up real nice and easy. So maybe I'll do that real quick. But so far so good. We're kicking problems in the butt, man. Alright, I'll see you later. So just in case you were wondering, there were a couple metal burrs that when that thing snapped, broke off and was in the valve train area. So, or on the top of the head, whatever you want to call it. And I picked those up. So that part was cool. It was very visible. I could see it, and I even took a rag with some oil on it and dabbed everything, or a paper towel, and just dabbed everything to pick up any burrs that could have been there, or whatever bad could have been in there, like some metal burrs. I picked them up. So, and I'll take another check, because when I get the other bolt, I'm gonna test fit it and all that good stuff. And now maybe when I do prime the oil pump, I will actually check this thing just to be 100% sure that the oil is coming up out of the valve train, or the push rods. So the oil is coming up. So that is all I'm going to do tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow, and we'll get the harness on. And after the harness, there's a couple little things, but mostly that's it. So we'll be ready to start this thing up. All right, guys, I'll see you later.